The latest OTA in Marvel Snap is mostly a win. Victoria Hand finally gets hit. A lot of underplayed or understated cards get real buffs, but the changes to the vanilla slash high Evo cards are a little bit more misleading than they look. Let's dive right into it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Kicker of Elves here with a review of the latest OTA that dropped yesterday. Very excited to be talking about this. There's some pretty cool changes in here. Please, if you've been enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button. We are getting so close. We're less than 300 subs away from our 1,000 subscriber goal, which is going to let us join the Marvel Snap Content Creator Program. Been a dream of mine for the past 3 years, and making videos now and your support is really getting us close to realize that. If we are able to join the creator program, we're going to be able to get notified of these changes in advance, and I can have this video ready for y'all right when OTA drops in the future. So please show that support, hit that sub button, really means a lot. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. The most deserved nerf in quite some time, Victoria Hand is dropping from a 2-3 to a 2-2. This is long overdue. This deck's been obliterating things for quite some time that is overly consistent. You compare this to cards like Patriot or really just any other ongoing sort of buff like a zoo or something, and it just destroys it. It rewards itself for doing the thing it wants you to do on the card. It is almost like old Doom 2099 in that regard. If you can copy Victoria Hand, you are getting multiplicative scaling off of this, and it was just incredible. I think it coming down to a 2-2 is great, because now if you copy Victoria Hand, instead of having a 2-5 Victoria Hand, you have a 2-4 Victoria Hand. So because you are so incentivized to get multiple Victoria Hands, this is like not just a 1 power nerf, but like a 2 or a 3 power nerf in most games. I don't know if that's going to be enough. They put in their notes that they're like might consider raising her cost. I think it's been a full year of Vicky Hand, and it's been a couple, like 2 months of it being extremely good. I would go even more the nuclear option. Let's see if this just light touching does enough to scare people away like it did with Move, but we'll have to wait and see. Same thing with Quinjet. Quinjet got taken down to a 1-1. I think people are a little bit too precious about the fact that this got nerfed. It was part of Victoria Hand. It is rewarding you for getting a... This really helps your high rolls go insane. Quinjet shouldn't have close to on rate power. You should be playing this at a cost, because if you are successfully pulling this off, you're getting even now a 1-4 Victoria Hand, a 1-8 or a 1-10 Demon. Like this card, more so than any other card, is just like the lowest impact addition to really amp up what you're doing with your Victoria Hand deck. And yeah, Quinjet's gotten hit before, when way back in like April or May, I forget when it was, like May of 2023, when they were trying to nerf Lockjaw Thanos. They added this minimum 1 clause so the stones wouldn't be 0 cost when you played Quinjet down. I was like, no, Quinjet got hit. Quinjet's been fine. Loki brought it back. Victoria Hand brought it back. You are still going to play Quinjet in a Victoria Hand list. It is now just a little bit more difficult to do so. Good. Victoria Hand needs to be brought down. All right, let's talk about the buffs. Now, I've always said in these videos that I like when we are going to get buffs to cards that pretty much everybody has, that's series 3 or lower. And I think buffing all of the vanilla cards here, Misty Knight goes to a 1-3, Shocker goes to a 2-4, Cyclops goes to a 3-5, Hulk goes from a 6-12 to a 6-14. That's fantastic. All of those changes, I look at those and I say, yeah, sure, awesome. Patriot decks aren't really a thing. High Evo decks aren't really a thing right now. And of course, this is a good thing, but to put on my tinfoil hat, I'll just do it what Alex would do here and just kind of like balance, put a controller on my head here. Putting on my tinfoil hat for a second. And this isn't even really a tinfoil hat. Like, let me look at the language they're using here real quick. I know my camera's cutting it off a little bit here. They're talking about like, oh, we're buffing the vanilla cards because of power creep and to create a a better new stat line. This gives more dials, and this is all good stuff. They talk about this set of changing a large buff to high evolutionary. It's been weak for some time. Maybe that's not such a black and white case. I don't think Second Dinner can comment on the existence of data mine cards, but if you're If you're watching this video, you're probably up to date or watching other videos on Datum. I'm taking the tinfoil hat off so I don't break my PS5 controller. You're probably more invested in looking into that stuff. February is full of a bunch of high Evo cards. So this is really just a pre-buff to those cards. So when they release a season pass card that wants to go with high evolutionary, it's not just dead in the water. That's really what's going on here. Like Cyclops being a 3/5 doesn't freaking matter. Same with Shocker or Misty Knight. You're not playing these cards just for their value. This is when the February season pass comes out and it's a high Evo card. The high Evo cards are better. That's what's really going on here. So I don't think they're allowed to comment on that, but us seeing that and us knowing it just makes this feel not deceptive, but we are obviously not getting the full picture here because they can't comment on it. Okay, other stuff. Colossus to 2/4. Sure, why not? Point of power. You are still not playing Colossus unless you are very early on in the game, in which case this is going to help out your Pool 1, Pool 2 Spectrum ongoing lists. I think those, that's great for those players. This is not going to do anything for any real decks right now, but sure, bring them to that level. Cable at 2/4. I've seen a little bit of hubbub about this being a concern. 2/4, draw a card from your opponent's deck. I don't know. I do not like Victoria hands. I wasn't playing a ton of Mirage, but I wonder if this power creeps Mirage in any sort of way. Yeah, we're not sniping their Mr. Negative flipped Iron Man, but we're taking a card. We got that information. This could be good. At 2/4, this is a very respectable stat line, and its ability is pretty dang good. Cable's when they buffed Cable to 2/3 back during the Loki days, it was like, this looks pretty strong. And now at 2/4, I wonder if there's going to be a compelling reason to play this card again. Maybe there will be. We'll have to see. Iron Fist to 1/3. Sure, they nerfed Human Torch. Even at the height of the Human Torch moves list's power in November, you are not playing Iron Fist. This is a card you play for like move bounce stuff. I just don't know what kind of sadist wants to be doing move bounce stuff. That is, that's sadist is harsh. If you like move bounce, I'm sorry, but I think of move bounce and I think of the 2 or 3 month period where like every deck guide you watched or like tier list review, a lot of like higher end creators are like, move bounce, it's everywhere, and it's like, I hit infinite every season and get decently high up. It's like I'm seeing this deck like once or twice a day, and there was just all this deal like move bounce, it's everywhere, it's destroying. It's like, maybe if you're in the top 25, so like that was just a moment that always sticks out to me of like complaining a lot about move bounce. It's like gotta consider the broader player base here. So if you want to try move bounce, Iron Fist at a 1/3 certainly makes that compelling. Iron Fist and Ghost Spider at 1/3. Those are very well statted cards. We sometimes will do stuff like run a Ghost Spider in a list that's running like a Mercury Cannonball or a Cosmic Ghost Rider. So you play the Cosmic Ghost Rider, you play the Cannonball, you mess up that location, and then you move that card back to a location where you actually need the power. Unless you're doing that on turn 6, you can't really sequence that out with Iron Fist. So we'll see. Again, overall quite happy with this. Airwalker to 3/4. Whatever. You're trying to destroy this card. It having an extra point, like if you are low, like helps if you are low rolling and you're like, I gotta play this out for stats. But if you are playing a deck with Airwalker that isn't Airsham where it got randomly generated, and you are low rolling in your Airwalker deck, you are losing anyway. So having the extra point of power does nothing. This is hilarious. Master Mold to 2/3. Players been playing for a long time might remember when Dara JN took down Jeff Hoogland in the finals of what was like, I forget what it was called, but it seemed like the first like real tournament for Marvel Snap. It was called like the Infinity Gauntlet. It was something like that. Jeff Hoogland was just going on an absolute tear with a balance list, and then Dara came in with his now legendary molded and folded deck and was able to take the overall victory. So Master Mold was very famous in that regard. It's been a 2/2 for a long time, which is totally unplayable because Ronin's unplayable. The devs do not like anything that is doing clog stuff. Master Mold is the premier card from like a hand clog deck. And it's interesting that they would buff this, considering they don't like this. This is kind of like when they buff Green Goblin. It's like, you want to buff any clog cards? Like you got rid of Debris being a clog card. So interesting choice. If people want to play Ronin, be my guest. Joaquin Torres to 2/3. This is kind of huge. This card was already somewhat meta relevant. You're seeing them in these like spell slinger type decks, where if you were playing like a zombies list, you play down Joaquin Torres, you'd play down your zombie Scarlet Witch, and like you double proc a Merlin, so you hit Omniversal Presence twice, or you'd hit Polymorph twice and turn this into something else, and then your other lower cost card there. Deafening Chord twice, Flames of Faultine from Clea twice. At 2/3, this is a much more compelling card. It's not an instant buy or anything, but I'm into this and probably going to do some amount of testing with it. Wade Wilson is getting his, instead of bringing a 1-cost card from your hand or deck with +1 power to +2 power. Again, happy with the buffs as a new card. I'm glad they are seeing that when a card just is a dud, that they're gonna like address it. I don't think this makes Wade Wilson like usable though. You are running so many 1-cost cards in Destroy. You're running Moira X, you're running Deadpool, Headpool, Nico, Agony, and the only cards you really want to hit with the +2 power are like obviously Deadpool first and foremost, but then Headpool. You don't want to give your Nico extra power. You want to Nico's going to get hit by a Killmonger. All your other 1-cost cards are going to blow things up. You were trying to hit either you really just want to hit your Deadpool, and then Headpool's like, okay, fine, at least I get this back. Or I guess maybe your X-23, because at least that stays on the board. But like, it's kind of a 50-50 with all the 1-cost cards you run to like for the plus power to matter. So don't think we're going to be seeing a lot more Wade Wilson after the changes. Doom 2099, 4/4 to 4/5. What a ridiculous card here. This time a year ago, this was like the defining card of the metagame, and now I don't know if the Doom bots are still 4-0. I don't know if a 4/5 buff does anything to this. I might test this out in like Proving Grounds, because I did enjoy this card for a bit. I did enjoy it in those ongoing lists. It is an ongoing card. When Invisible Wind First Steps came out, there was like a series of people where it's like, oh, we can do Invisible Wind First Steps, Doctor Doom 29 and Doctor Doom 2099. We're going to get multiple stuff and it's going to be better. And apologies, yawning. That's how boring Doom 2099 is these days. And that didn't happen. And I don't think this changes much of anything too. But again, always going to support buffs over just randomly nerfing stuff. And that's it. So thoughts in total, the stars of the show here are the fact that Victoria Hand finally got nerfed. Hopefully that deck goes away, and if not, sounds like they are willing to make her a 3-cost, which let's do it. I'm ready for it. Let's make it happen. The buffs to the high Evo cards come across as dishonest, even though I don't think they mean it to be, just because they can't talk about the data mine series February cards that obviously want to synergize with high Evo, like the season pass card, and so that makes it feel weird. But overall, just a bunch of buffs to underplayed cards and nerfs to Victoria Hand. You put those two together at the high level, and it's a big W. So thank you all so much for watching. This has been my OTA review. Please hit that subscribe button, like, comment, let me know about how you feel about this OTA or anything else that's going on. I'll engage with every comment as long as you're not rude or outright trolling me. I have been Kicker of Elves. Thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you next time. Goodbye.